Welcome to the first episode of Tamer Talks Change. First of all, being able to share my voice is a privilege, honor, and a responsibility that I don't take lightly. I was always thrilled and happy to share my journey, my travels, my learnings with everybody around me, whether friends or colleagues. And I would be super excited and happy to see that anything I say is impacting their lives positively. Now, dare I dream to share my voice with a much larger audience? Why not? I love it. Let's do it. So, first of all, what is this channel about? What is this podcast about? It is about a very simple concept that I believe in. Your history is not your destiny. We've come a long way in our corporate careers, in our lives. And maybe some of us didn't achieve what we want to achieve or didn't get to our dreams or to realize our dreams yet. And some of us, they did. We reached our dreams, but then, we don't feel very fulfilled. So what is this about? So let me tell you a little story. Which is my corporate story. So I had a very humble beginning. I had an entry level sales job after I graduated from university. And throughout the whole journey to becoming today an executive in a large international telco organization, I had a long journey filled with action, right? So I've lived in 4 different countries in 4 different continents. I've had tons of education, master degree, over 30 courses in different kinds and in different locations all over the world. I speak 4 languages. I had this dream life that I always wanted. I was traveling the world, getting on business and first class flights, getting into luxurious limousines, fancy cars. Back then I had just got married and had my first child. So I was living the dream, right? So it was everything I dreamt about. But then at a given moment, I felt very frustrated. I felt lost. I felt stuck at what I do. And I wasn't sure why. And I was looking for the reason. I was trying to figure it out. Was it the job that I had just accepted? Was it that new country that I had just moved to? Was it, moving from a single life to married life? Or was it having kids? I was not sure. I was just trying to figure it out. And being in that spot and being frustrated and feeling stuck, it would have its toll on you. I felt very frustrated. It impacted my behavior, how I treated my family, my friends, my colleagues. I started feeling the negativity all over. It was all in my mind. All what was on my mind was negative. I couldn't see anything working out, and I couldn't figure out why. I wouldn't exaggerate to say like I was almost depressed back then, because that's what I believe I had, and it obviously had a serious impact on my relationships. And I was trying to read a lot. I was trying to get a lot of self or personal development books, and I was listening to a lot of podcasts, trying to get myself, unstuck. And it didn't seem to work for quite some time until I landed on my coaching journey. And that was, I was stunned because from the very first day, I felt like they are speaking different language. I didn't understand not the words, but the vibe, the approach. And I'm not going to exaggerate to say that it had a serious impact on my life. It changed my life. It opened up new horizons to me that I didn't know existed. It changed not only my life, but how I saw my life. And it changed to a big extent who I am. And that was something that I didn't expect. And when I became a trained coactive coach, I realized that I had a choice. Either I transform my life or I go about transforming my life and be happy with it, or I can share it with others. Maybe they can also transform theirs. And that's when I started engaging more in the coaching world. And that's why I'm here. But don't get me wrong. This podcast is not is not meant to be another platform for coaching advice. I'm not here to give an advice. I'm here to build a community of like-minded professionals who are eager to change, eager to live their most fulfilling life, eager to become successful and to, live the life they always dreamt about. And that's what I want you to understand. It's not only about me sharing here, it is also about you sharing. I want you to engage. I want you to share your journey, your thoughts, your comments, your feedback, what worked, what didn't, because we are all on that learning journey. So I am happy and thrilled to share my journey with you and the teachings that I learned from coaching to potentially help any one of you out there. So let me start by this. If you are uh, a corporate professional, you're super excited, you're super motivated, you want to succeed. Maybe you didn't reach the success you've always dreamt about. Maybe you did, and now wondering what's next, or I don't feel as fulfilled as I thought I would be after, getting to that point in life or in career. Maybe you didn't achieve the success you dreamed of. Maybe you achieved it and not fulfilled, but you are determined to break free from the routine. What would be the obstacles? So obviously, you would have an obstacle of fear of failure. A lot of us fear to try new things out of fear of failure. A lot of us fear trying new things because of the potential financial impact. And we all have to be careful with, obviously, our financial situation, especially supporting ourselves, supporting our families, or anyone who we need to support. So we have to be careful here. And all those kind of barriers would stop us from doing a change or making a change in our life towards, our dream life or our most fulfilling life. And there is a concept here that I've learned and I believe in that I want to share with you. We've all heard the knowledge is power thing, right? I don't necessarily agree to it because it's not super accurate in my mind. What would be more accurate is knowledge is power if we use it or if we know how to use it. So going out and learning a lot of, things about personal development and about change and about transformation, reading a lot of books is fantastic. But if you don't know how to apply it to yourself, to your own circumstances, it wouldn't matter if you know it or not. Actually, it becomes a very useless knowledge. Even worse, not knowing it is probably better than knowing it and not being able to use it. It will be at least less frustrating. So what is this about? I would like to share, in the coming episodes, what I believe is a practical approach to making a change or a transformation in our life. And I would like to explain you that approach in a simple manner, on a high level. The approach goes this way. First of all, it's about the mindset. That's step number one. It's about having the right mindset. It's about understanding what are the different attributes or attitudes of a success mindset. Talking self-belief, we're talking accountability, resilience, surrounding, persistence, those kind of concepts and attributes that would build a strong mindset. Mindset is the foundation of any success in life. If you don't have the right mindset, it doesn't matter what we learn, it doesn't matter what we read, it doesn't matter what we listen to, and it definitely doesn't matter what kind of advice we get, because it wouldn't matter. We will not perceive it in the right way. We will not be able to apply it. And that's the cornerstone of success. Look at any successful people around you, any, famous public figures. You would see that they have the right mindset. Okay. And we need to understand the difference between what is a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. We need to understand the concepts of limiting beliefs. A lot of us live in prisons and in limitations that we created for ourselves. Our mind and our brain created it to protect us from the potential stress that would result of a change or doing a change. It's kind of a natural behavior of the brain. But we need to understand our limiting beliefs. Some of us believe we are too old to change. Some believe we are too young. They are too young to change. Some believe they are not smart enough, or they are not wealthy enough, or they are not strong enough. If you believe you are not something enough, that's a limitation your brain put on yourself. And that kind of definitely limits what you are capable of achieving. So we need to be able to understand our own limiting beliefs and how can we crush them? How can we move forward? We need to understand the concept of self-care and the concept of how to break free from that victim mentality that, everybody's against me, or my friends don't like me, or my colleagues don't want to cooperate with me. My superiors definitely don't appreciate me. They don't support me. It is not about anyone else. It is about you and what you believe in. And that is the first step, having the right mindset. Once you have the right mindset, you'll be able to deal with anything that life throws at you, with anything and any concept you want to develop and you want to transform to. And that leads us to the second step, which is self-awareness. What are our values? What is our passion? And what is our purpose in life? These concepts seem quite big and very vague at the same time. If you're not able to pinpoint it, if you're not able to define it for you and for your own self and for your own ambition, for who you are, who you want to become, and how to get there, if you're not able to achieve it, it will just become, a vague, elastic concept that is completely useless to you. So we need to understand, how do we define our values, our passion, how to find our passion, and how to define our purpose in life. And how does this work with defining our goals, our SMART goals, how to define the right action plan to get to our goals. And that is about the self-awareness. Being self-aware of our inner strengths. Each one of us has inner strengths, either, positive or negative. You either have strengths, the positive voices deep down inside of you that would push you to do the change, that would push you to take action, that would get you to be disciplined about what you need to do. And there are those negative voices, or inner critics, as I like to call them, that would put you down, the self-talk, that voice inside your head that would put you down, emphasize on the limiting beliefs, or just make you see barriers and obstacles everywhere so you're not able to move forward. How are you able to identify those? How are you able to neutralize those negative, inner critics so you can move on about the change you want to do? And all these concepts form the self-awareness. So now that you have the positive or the success mindset, and you have the right level of self-awareness of where you are, where you want to go, and how can you get there with the right action plan, then the world is your oyster. You can really and literally do anything you want. Anything you learn afterwards, and this is kind of my third step, is about leadership, is about the leadership fundamentals. It's about emotional intelligence, effective communication, time management, empathy. It's about leading teams. If you are in charge of teams, it's about how to lead successful, inspired teams, how to apply the concepts of inclusion, the how to handle conflicts or difficult situations, conversational leadership. This becomes and a learning or a knowledge you add on top of what you had already built, of a solid mindset and a proper self-awareness. Anything you learn afterwards will be absorbed. And for all of you who have attended courses or trainings throughout your career, throughout your life, you would understand what I'm about to say. I used to take a lot of leadership courses or commercial courses, sales courses. And whenever I would go, especially when it's about leadership or about change, whenever I would go to that course, I would be super excited, because I always like to learn. I always like to learn something new. I would be super excited throughout the course or the training, because I see that it does make sense, and if I apply those, I will change everything around me. I will change in my organization. I will change in my team. I will become a true leader. The frustration is when I go back and I try to apply those concepts, it doesn't work. And it was always a question of my mind, among many others, that I always wondered, and I never really spoke out loud. Why is it that we learn something that looks so logic and so reasonable, And when we try to apply it in real life, it doesn't work. And I believe it is because of those two elements, having the right mindset and having the right self awareness. Once we have those, I was able to apply a lot of the teachings that I had gained throughout my life, whether in courses or on books I read or podcasts I've listened to. And that is the cornerstone of any change or successful change or transformation. Let's get the right mindset and let's get the right self awareness. And that, my friends, is what I'm going to share in my channel or in my podcast. I'm going to share with you all the teachings and all the learnings I've gained throughout my coaching career and how it was applicable to my quarter of a century experience in corporate life. And before I go, I want to leave you with this notion. What would you do if you had no fear of failure? If you are given one wish to achieve or one dream you want, what would it be? And if you can take the first step towards achieving it, what would that first step be? And why are you not able to take it now? And that emphasizes my message. Let's all get on that journey of having the right mindset and having the right self-awareness so we can go about the change we want to be. The change we want to achieve in our life, creating the life that we want for ourselves. And the very first step is not to learn anything, and it's not to take any advice. The first step to a proper change and a proper transformation of your life is accepting and being grateful of who you are and of where you are right now. If you cannot accept that, you will not likely be able to do any change in your life, simply because when we rely on external factors for being happy, we let control or lose control on our happiness. Happiness is not going to come to you when you get that promotion or when you marry that girl or when you have your child or your first child. Happiness comes from within. You are in control of your happiness. You decide when to be happy and how to be happy and where to be happy. It has no geographical boundaries. It is not tied to a specific location or a specific circumstance to happen. And it all starts from accepting who you are and what you have achieved so far of where you are. Then you will be able to move on to achieving a lot of success and a lot of steps, solid steps toward the change you're yearning for. So, and we all focus on the results. And I was this kind of guy. I was always focusing on the end result. And along the way, I missed enjoying the journey. And it's a shame that you would work for a month, 6 months, a year, 10 years towards achieving a goal, only to realize that you had not enjoyed any of the journey. And that is a shame, because enjoying the journey is a big part of enjoying the victory afterwards. Otherwise, it's just a matter of 5 minutes or 1 hour or 1 day of happiness after you achieve your goal, but you would have missed the fun in the entire journey. And that reminds me of a story that I heard when I was young, and honestly, I didn't really connect much with it. It didn't really resonate with me, and it only came back to me when I had this realization. And the story is about a little boy who got into the king's palace, and the king had this kind of open day and invited everybody to come and enjoy the beauty of his palace. And the little boy walked in, and the king saw him, and he asked him, "Why are you here?" And he said, "Well, I'm here to look at the amazing structure and how beautiful your palace is." And he said, "That's great. Just hold up this cup of water, and I want you to go anywhere you want in the palace and enjoy it, as long as you don't spill any of the water in the cup." And the boy went ahead, and he had walked throughout the entire palace. And when he came back to the king, the king asked him, "How did you enjoy it?" And he was like, "Yeah, it was fun." He said, "Okay, did you see the view from that window, or did you see that painting hanging on the staircase, or did you enjoy this and did you enjoy that? And the kid was like, oh no, I missed those things. I didn't see those things. So the king took the cup of water and he told him, okay, now I want you to go in the palace and I want you to take another tour and come back to me and tell me what you saw. And obviously the kid came back and he was talking, nonstop to the king about how beautiful the paintings were, the carpets, the views from the windows, all kind of beauty in the palace that he saw. And the king asked him, well, I'm really surprised. Why did you not see it in the first time? And he had not seen it because he had one goal in mind, which was not to spill the water. That was his goal. He was focused on it. He missed all kind of beauty, all kind of uh, amazing things in the palace simply because he was just fixated on that cup of water and on that one goal of not spilling the water. And that's what we often do as professionals. We are focused on getting that promotion. We are focused on getting that pay raise. We are focused on moving to that different country. We are always or mostly focused on just achieving this one goal. And when we achieve it, we realize that we had not enjoyed the journey to get there. And the happiness or satisfaction is kind of temporary. And this is what I want to leave you with today. I want you to do these two things. I want you to first accept yourself for who you are, accept where you are in life, accept your place in your life, in your career, in your organization. Accept yourself for who you are and be open to transform yourself. Be open to learn new things. Be open to make a change. If we do not change nothing changes. Get that as a first concept in life. And second, be open to enjoy the journey. It is not about getting to the goal. It is about doing what's in our control. And what's in your control is your effort and what you do from now on. Your history is not your destiny. And that's what I said at the beginning of this episode. And that's what it's all about. Where we are today does not mean is where we will remain for the rest of our lives. Where we are today is the result of what we had done in our past life. Where we will be in the future is the result of what we do from now on. And that's what I want to leave you with until we start talking about the mindset attributes and the success mindset as of the next episode. Meanwhile, please, if you like the content, don't forget to like, leave your comment, and I want you definitely to engage and share your stories, share your comments, share your feedback. And also, I will leave a note on my other platforms so you engage in whichever platform you prefer. And until then, take care. And don't forget, take responsibility, own it.